Before we begin, let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you sat alone at night, replaying conversations in your head, wondering where things went wrong with a woman you genuinely cared about? How many times did you try harder, give more, explain yourself better, only to feel more confused, rejected, or invisible? If you are watching this, chances are you have felt misunderstood, unappreciated, or even blamed for things you never fully understood. This lecture is not about hating women, blaming women, or manipulating anyone. This is about clarity. And clarity can change a man's entire life. Most men are not failing with women because they are bad men. They are failing because they were taught the wrong rules. Society gives men a fantasy version of relationships and then shames them when reality does not match it. You are told to be nice, to be understanding, to be endlessly patient, to communicate more, to sacrifice yourself. And if it still does not work, you are told it is your fault. That message slowly breaks a man's confidence, his sense of worth, and eventually his identity. What you are about to hear is not comfortable, but it is freeing. There is one essential truth every man needs to understand about women, and once you truly understand it, your confusion begins to disappear. Here is the truth. Women do not love men for what they say, promise, or sacrifice. Women love men for how they make them feel about themselves and about life. That feeling is created through strength, direction, emotional presence, and self-respect, not through chasing approval or self-erasure. This is where most men go wrong. They think love is earned through effort alone, but effort without strength does not inspire attraction. It inspires pity, pressure, or eventually resentment. Many men grow up believing that if they are good enough, helpful enough, loyal enough, and patient enough, a woman will naturally value them. This belief sounds noble, but it is incomplete. Women do not bond emotionally through logic or moral checklists. They bond through emotional experience. How she feels around you matters more than how correct you are, how much you give, or how hard you try to prove yourself. This does not mean women are shallow. It means they are emotionally responsive creatures, just as men are visually responsive. Neither is wrong. Both are natural. When a man centers his entire identity around pleasing a woman, he slowly loses the very qualities that attracted her in the first place. He stops leading his own life. He stops having boundaries. He starts asking for permission instead of making decisions. He explains himself too much. He apologizes too quickly. Over time, the woman may not even understand why her feelings changed, but they did. Attraction does not die from one mistake. It dies from the slow disappearance of masculine presence. Masculine presence is not aggression. It is not dominance. It is not control. It is calm confidence. It is emotional stability. It is knowing who you are and where you are going, whether a woman joins you or not. A woman feels safe emotionally when a man is grounded in himself. She feels relaxed when she does not have to manage his emotions, reassure his worth, or walk on eggshells around his insecurity. One of the biggest lies men are told is that women want a man who prioritizes her above everything else. What women actually want is a man who has a purpose, values, and direction, and chooses her, not clings to her. There is a massive difference. Choice creates desire. Need creates pressure. The moment a woman feels responsible for a man's happiness, attraction starts to fade. Love is not a burden. It is a shared experience. Another essential truth is that women test men, not consciously in an evil way, but instinctively. These tests are not traps, they are emotional checks. She is checking if you are emotionally stable, if you respect yourself, if you can handle disagreement without collapsing or exploding. When a man fails these tests by becoming defensive, needy, angry, or desperate to please, he communicates weakness, even if his intentions are pure. For example, when a woman challenges your opinion, she is often not asking you to change it. She is observing how grounded you are in it. When she pulls back emotionally, she is watching whether you panic or stay centered. When she says something that feels unfair, she is watching whether you lose control or respond calmly. These moments shape attraction more than romantic gestures ever will. Many men misunderstand emotional availability. Being emotionally available does not mean dumping your insecurities onto a woman or asking her to validate you constantly. Emotional availability means being present, listening without defensiveness, expressing yourself honestly without collapsing, and staying emotionally regulated under pressure. A man who can feel deeply without losing control is far more attractive than a man who pretends to be emotionless or one who is emotionally chaotic. Another truth men struggle with is this: love does not grow through convincing. You cannot argue someone into loving you. You cannot explain your value until someone feels it. When a man senses a woman pulling away and responds by writing long messages, over-explaining, or trying to prove his loyalty, he is acting from fear. Fear repels, calm confidence invites. Women respond to how a man handles himself when things are uncertain. If you can walk away with dignity, respect yourself enough to say no, and remain kind without chasing, you demonstrate value without saying a word. Self-respect is the loudest signal a man can send. It is also important to understand that women are not static. Their emotions fluctuate, their attraction ebbs and flows. This does not mean you failed every time her mood changes. Men who take every emotional shift personally exhaust themselves. A grounded man understands that emotions pass. He does not overreact. He does not punish. He does not beg. He stays steady. One of the most destructive mistakes men make is believing that being endlessly understanding will make a woman stay. Understanding without boundaries leads to being taken for granted. Kindness without strength becomes weakness. Love without self-respect becomes self-abandonment. A woman may not consciously want to disrespect you, but if you allow it, the dynamic will change whether she intends it or not. Here is a hard truth. Attraction is not fair. It does not reward suffering. It responds to energy, presence, and self-certainty. This does not make women cruel. It makes them human. Men who accept this reality stop feeling bitter and start feeling empowered. You cannot control attraction, but you can embody qualities that naturally inspire it. The most attractive men are not perfect. They are authentic, grounded, and emotionally independent. They enjoy women, but they do not need them to feel whole. They invite connection, but they are not afraid of loss. This emotional independence creates safety and desire at the same time. Many men fear being alone more than they fear losing themselves. That fear drives them into unhealthy dynamics. When you choose yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a grounded way, relationships become healthier. A woman can sense when a man is with her by choice, not by fear. Communication matters, but how you communicate matters more than what you say. Calm certainty speaks louder than emotional pleading. Silence with self-respect is often more powerful than words fueled by anxiety. This lecture is not about blaming women for your pain. It is about understanding reality so you stop fighting it. Women are not enemies, they are mirrors. They reflect back who you are being, not who you wish you were. When you become more centered, more disciplined, more emotionally stable. Your relationships change without force. The one essential truth every man needs to know about women is this: attraction and love grow when a man is deeply connected to himself first. When you abandon yourself to keep a woman, you lose both. When you stand firmly in who you are, you may lose some people, but the right ones stay. If you are hurting right now, understand this: your pain is not proof that you are unworthy. It is proof that you cared without understanding the rules. And now you are learning them. That awareness alone puts you ahead of where you were yesterday. Do not harden your heart. Strength is not bitterness. Strength is clarity. Strength is choosing growth over resentment. Strength is becoming the kind of man who does not chase love, but creates a life that love wants to be part of. As this lecture comes to an end, remember this: you do not need to be louder, richer, or perfect. You need to be grounded, self-respecting, and emotionally present. When you stop trying to be chosen and start choosing yourself, everything changes. If this message resonated with you, sit with it. Reflect on it. Let it challenge you. Mind Unmasked exists to uncover truths that free men from confusion and self-doubt. Growth is not easy, but it is always worth it. Stay strong, stay curious, and never abandon yourself for anyone.